Welcome to another episode of Candid Convos. Today's guest is Lydia Desnoyers. Lydia is the founder and owner of the DesCPA Business Advisory, a Miami-based CPA firm that specializes in business advisory and virtual CFO solutions. They build and scale businesses that lead to financial freedom and a healthy work-life integration. And they've been doing this for more than 10 years. She's both a certified public accountant and a certified fraud examiner. Empowering women all over the scene, wherever you are, please give it up for Lydia. Lydia, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Lydia, I'd like to start by asking, how have you grown your business over the last 10 years? You've been doing this, what you're doing for a very long time. How did you get to the point where you are?
It's a very good question, loaded question. I mean, by God's good grace, I didn't have to start entirely from scratch. My firm was open for about 1.5 years while I was still in corporate. And about 1.5 years after starting my business, I had a wonderful opportunity to purchase someone's book of business. And so I was able to transition out of the corporate environment and run my business full time. And from there, it's just hard work, prayers and just paying attention to the business, to my business, and making some bold moves and stuff. So it's changed over the years. I would say I almost feel like I started from scratch a few years ago when I decided to pivot from doing compliance work in terms of what CPAs are traditionally known for, like tax preparation and accounting and bookkeeping. A few years ago, I recognized the moving environment for CPAs and where we can actually add value to our clients, and decided advisory was more the place to go, right? Because when you think about compliance work, it's historical. It's based on, by the time we do your taxes, the year is already over. There's nothing we can do about that. But what businesses need is how to move forward. How do we take the information, our activities, and what information do we use to make decisions to take our business to the next level? And I realized that's where my clients needed the help. And so we really pivoted our firm to do more of that, of helping people build their businesses and treat it as the valuable asset that it is, rather than just a side hustle or, some extra cash on the side. That this is actually, this is what's going to take you to the next level, right? This is going to be your way of life. This is what you're going to pass down to your children or sell eventually, when we talk about succession planning. And so that's where we realize the value is, and that's where we realize we can add value. So yeah, it's changed a lot from day one, but it's all good things, all great things.
Well, it sounds like it's been a ride. And one of the things that I like is that whenever you talk about your history, you say it with a big smile on your face. Now, you do say you empower people, you empower businesses to grow, but specifically women. What would you say drives you to do this?
I thank you so much for asking this. I feel as a female professional, even when I was in the corporate environment, there were just things that I think that women go through that men don't, right? And a lot of it is, imposed by external factors. But then there are a lot of things that are internal to us where we tend to hold ourselves back from reaching our fullest potential. And so, for me, it was really important to do that. There are things I had to go through in terms of finding my own voice and recognizing the value that I bring to the table. And there are a lot of women, I think women are just amazing. And a lot of times we have our own mental roadblocks and things. So I like to work from that part in terms of like our mindset, and then how to maneuver through this environment, especially as a CPA. And I work predominantly with women-owned law firms. And so when you think about women attorneys or women CPAs or women in any kind of profession that are otherwise dominated by men, we have unique challenges and things that we go through And I've come through my own, and if I can help the next woman not have to go through trial and error, or to help her kind of out of that I guess a rut, of just holding ourselves back, then I feel great. I feel like we're in this movement now where women are supporting more women, and it's a beautiful thing. The things that we're capable of doing once we let go of the things that hold us back. And again, a lot of it, there's a lot of it that's internal. So I help women to kind of get through those mental blocks, those self-limiting beliefs, and also how to, as I said, maneuver through the external factors, things that are not necessarily from our own mental block, where, feeling unheard, and things like that. So how do we step up into our roles as a professional women? So yeah, so that's where it came from. I just love empowering other women. I've had amazing women in my life who have empowered me and saw the best in me, saw the value I bring. And if I can, impart that on to another woman professional, then I feel successful.
Now, here's the thing. You've already mentioned that you're working with it. You have 2 virtual assistants, and your business, it is a very noble cause, but it doesn't sound like it's a very easy type of thing. Like, you're not selling chips. You're doing something that's fairly complicated. Would you say that your team, and now specifically mentioning your virtual assistants, are living up to the standards that you place for your company?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm always in awe with their ability to capture my goals and my vision. I make it very clear that even though we're in this virtual environment and that we're not in the same physical space, that we are still very much a team, right? And so for me, I made it very clear when I'm on board my team that here's a vision for the firm. Here's a vision for you, as a part of this team, and their ability to grasp that and charge and lead the charge is phenomenal. I tell them all the time, I can't imagine doing this without them. I have, as I mentioned, a marketing assistant, and also a virtual assistant that, gosh, I can't find the words. They're just phenomenal. They're phenomenal. I think that being from the States, it's easy to have these prejudgments of people overseas, right? Will they understand our culture? Will they understand the nuances of helping run a business? And I mean, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know what magic powers you guys have, but you guys are 2 for 2, and I can't wait to get my next staff member from you guys as we continue to grow. But they are phenomenal, and I can't imagine. I could not do what I do without them. And I'm able to take time off. As any business owner would know, you don't really have time off, but you know what I mean, right?
No.
When we try to disconnect, that I
We
still
try.
yeah, we try, right? Still checking the emails, right? But knowing that things are still going smoothly. I mean, I get such good feedback about all my team members that they get it. They're amazing. I get a lot of feedback on my social media, and people comment like how engaging it is and things like that. So that's my marketing assistant. I get feedback from prospective clients, so people who are not even clients, who still reach out to me and say, hey, your assistant was amazing. I mean, she follows through, and she doesn't, she makes sure that she follows up, and yeah, so it's been an amazing experience, and I absolutely love my team. I feel like they're helping me take my firm to the next level. So really excited about that. I mean, we just had our team meeting last week where we discussed our plans for 2022 and the goals, and it just feels really good to have like a team that I can rely on. And if I do say so myself, I'm a pretty good leader. I inspire my team. I want them to feel included. I want them to know that it's again, even though we're oceans apart, that we're still together, that we do a lot of team building exercises together, and stuff like that. So it's a very cohesive team.
Now, I don't want this conversation to end, but unfortunately we are right. You have a marvelous your experience in all this. I do have one final question. Now, I'm not sure what it is that it takes. Maybe it takes a lot of guts, or maybe it's a change in your core belief systems, which is something that's not easy to do. Like a paradigm shift, that's not something that's easily done. What do you think is needed for other people to see the value that this type of services offers? Is it something like along those lines, or do you think it's something different? Because you wear it.
I mean, it may be different things for different people. Gosh, I have to be very, very careful with how I word this, because I think what happens is, for me, and in cases of other people I know who've gone the virtual environment and virtual staffing, is that we realize that we have challenges even with our domestic staff, right? And when you think about whatever limitations and barriers you can have with somebody who's overseas, you recognize that you can have the same challenges as someone domestic, right? So why not give it a try? And I do find that everybody I work with is very hardworking. They're very, they have integrity, great work ethics, able to communicate. There's not that much of a language barrier at all. And in fact, for the people I do know who have gone with overseas and virtual staffing, they're blown away. They realize that all the prejudgments that they have were in fact misconceptions, right? It was based on theory, or what they thought, but they actually never had proof that it wouldn't work. There's no one actually came to them and said, oh, hiring overseas, you're going to have all these issues. They were just these beliefs that they created with no actual proof or evidence. And so when they tried it, again, having issues with domestically already, it's like, okay, well, you know what, let me just try with the virtual staffing. And they're just like, wow, everything I thought could go wrong was all made up in my head, that there's so much that goes right. And the freedom that comes with it, right? Of knowing, okay, I can focus on more big picture, right? More big picture growth and strategy, knowing that my team can handle certain day-to-day tasks that were just boggling me down, that were just taking time from me actually doing the real work and the things that need to take my firm further. There's that sense of freedom that comes with it. Sometimes for me, the biggest challenge is letting go of the guilt of sometimes like, hey, I don't have anything to do at this very moment. This is change. Hold on, am I missing something, right? If anything, that's like my biggest challenge, is letting go of that guilt or wondering like, oh God, did I forget something on my to-do list? But knowing that, hey, my team is actually taking care of this, and I can depend on them, and they're brilliant, and they get it, and they're going to get it done. So, I think, as I work with my, women-owned law firms and women-owned businesses, that a lot of the stuff is made up in our head, and we just have to figure out how to challenge those things and test it out. And we realize that, hey, it was all in our head.
Wow. Honestly, thank you for that honest opinion, because I know it's not easy, also mentioning like the barriers that other people and you yourself had to face with, but unfortunately we ran out of time, and I didn't want that to happen.
We should do this again.
Yeah, we should. We totally should. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for being with us today, and for your honesty and for your conversation. Now, before we go, please let people know where they can find you and what you can do for them.
Well, great. Thank you so much for asking. So of course, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. And you can find our handles at DesCPA Advisory. You can go onto our website, www.descpa.com. That's DesCPA.com. And listen, we do really short introduction calls, so you could just schedule something on our website and set up, 20 minutes or so for us to just talk, no obligation, no nothing, just to talk. You want to hear about what we do. We're very, very easy to reach, and we're here to support.
Well, guys, you heard it from her. Thank you very much, Lydia, once again. This is it for today.
Thank you so much. This was fun. We'll do this again.
We will. Oh, trust me on that. I will hold you to your word.
Awesome. Love it. You have it on record. Bye.
See you in the next episode of Candid Convos.